How you feel?
Good.
You feel like you'll play?
Yeah, we're trending in the right direction, so still day by day, but good.
Has this taken longer than you thought it might?
I mean, I have very, very big aspirations, especially when it comes to injuries and stuff like that. I want to get back out there as quick as possible. But everything is going smoothly. Been making good strides and leaps. That's all I can ask for.
Has the team's message to you been patience and, to try to think about the long game?
Yeah, all accommodating to me and my body and what I'm feeling right now. They've done an amazing job from the training room all the way up to the head coach.
You've seen Kyle sort of blossom in your absence. What's your viewpoint of why do you think he's had more success of late?
Opportunities, the ball getting to him, and he's doing his thing. And I think that anybody would shine, but KP, he's doing his thing, and I'm so happy for him.
Has it been frustrating for you? Because we know you want to be out there.
Yeah, it's been frustrating not playing football.
What's been the hardest part, would you say?
Not playing football. That's the biggest thing.
And when it first started, did you think that you'd be back quicker than it ended up being?
Yeah, again, like I said, I have big aspirations about coming back as quick as I possibly can, but I'm not going to go out there and be a hindrance to the team just because I want to play.
Something that was bothering you even before, you came out in that game? Was it something that was already bothering you previously?
I've been scratching and clawing to play every game this season. A lot of people don't know that, but this season hasn't been too well on my body. Could be a blessing in disguise that this happened. I don't know, but just trying to fight back and get out there on the field.
It was the shoulder and the hip before, right?
Yeah.
Was this the PCL? I'm trying to remember the specific. I believe Raheem also said you had dealt with it earlier in your career. When was that?
My rookie year.
Your rookie year? Was the timeline similar? I can go back and look too.
And I was actually out a little bit longer.
How much did having that experience with the injury already help this time around?
Just understanding what is uncomfortability and what's pain.
Greg, some people may say, why come back? But I know you want to play and just finish the season strong. Is that kind of your motive, just to not say, hey, if I can go, I'm going to be out there and go?
Yeah, I just want to play football at the end of the day. Pretty sure I'm safe to say we're eliminated from playoffs.
Right? Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so I'm probably not going to be able to play football until next year or deep into next year. I want to play as much as football as I possibly can until it's done for this year.
Was it hard to stand on the sideline and watch and try to help, or was there any solace in that, or did that make it worse?
I just try to be the best teammate that I possibly can be. And yeah, obviously it hurt. You want to be out there knowing you could contribute, but again, I don't want to be a hindrance to the team, just trying to be a tough guy and play.
What's it been like reconnecting with Kirk in this week practice?
It's been good. It's been fun. I think it's just been fun to be out on the grass again and playing.
Is it really easy for a wide receiver to kind of just reconnect with a quarterback they've already worked with?
Is it easy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it's like riding a bike in a sense. But I pride myself on I don't really care who throws the ball. I just got to go do my job and catch it.
Did you know you're the third betting favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year at this point?
Betting?
Yeah. The odds. You're third behind the linebacker at Cleveland and the safety in Seattle. You didn't know?
Nah. Shout out to those guys, though.
Do you care?
Do I care?
Yeah.
No, we all working. We all just trying to do our job at the highest level we can.
Would it be cool, though?
It'd be great. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Good accomplishment for the first season. I guess that's what that award is saying. You feel me?
What do you think your production in the last 6 games is because of?
The work. You know what I'm saying? Just being a little bit more intentional, just putting a little bit extra in.
Does that mean extra time in the meeting room? Does that mean paying better attention on the field, on the practice field, or all of the above?
Just all 9, even on my own. You know what I'm saying? Just to the coaching staff, to my teammates, to just me getting better and growing.
Has this been a surprise? This season been a surprise to you? Has it been what you expected?
It's been a journey. That's what I can say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really looking for the perfect journey or the worst journey. It's been a journey, though. It's for me to figure it out, for us to figure it out as a team, as a group, and just all get better.
Where do you think? What's the next step of this journey for you? You think? What's the next place you can go? What's the next area you can get better?
Just complete everything. You know what I'm saying? It's, like I said, it's a journey. So just whether that's just in 5 down, 4 down, it's somewhere out there to get better. I know, coaching staff know. You know what I'm saying? So
What has Coach Ulbrich meant to you this year in the way he's coached you?
He meant a lot to me, to all the guys, you know what I'm saying? He's the leader of the defense, you know what I'm saying? It start off with him giving the play call, how he want the scheme ran, the whole 11. So it meant a lot. He means a lot to the group, to us, to me. He wanted me here, you know what I'm saying?
How much has that meant to you that this group wanted you here? Because there were some other teams that were a little wary maybe of bringing you in, and these guys sort of seems like they kind of wrapped their arms around you and said, you're our guy.
Yeah, that's all that talk is like really behind us now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know who my guys is, my guys know who I am, and I'm willing to go to war with them for that.
Do you think that winning Defensive Rookie of the Year would prove something to anybody? Do you care about proving anything to anybody?
No, I think my teammates, the staff will love it, my family will love it, so just leave it for us to celebrate and have fun with it. Everybody else claps and stuff. It means a lot of support. We thankful for it, but outside of that, it doesn't mean nothing crazy.
You've got a lot of guys in the front, young guys like Brandon and Rook and Jalen. Can you, is there kind of a connection bond that you guys have built?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's just off the field, just talking about us in general, or it's on the field, the connection is there. Just it's a weird thing, but if you play ball, you get what I'm saying, and you out there going to war with those guys, it's a connection that just automatically get built, especially when y'all all stand-up guys.
That's how the preparation is going for the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, it's going well. They got a lot of playmakers that's getting the ball a lot in the passing game. With 85, obviously he's the highest paid tight end in the league. He's a game record. They're giving him the ball, whether it's screens, whether it's quick game, even deep down the field as well. He's getting the ball. So we definitely got to be keyed in on where he is, and obviously 14 has come along as well, the receiver. As Marvin Harrison has been out. I think he practiced yesterday, so we'll see what his availability is. But yeah, they have some dynamic playmakers that's young. I think they're surprising some guys for sure.
Does it help having someone like Kyle Pitts to go against in practice to prepare for another tight end who is such a threat on offense?
Yeah, I would say for this tight end specifically, it's hard to replicate what he does in the game. I think he's a very physical player with making contact and pushing off. Not saying that Kyle doesn't do that, but we're just not in that phase of practice where you can get hands on Kyle and Kyle's pushing off. But I think that's where 85 is, making a lot of his money, is when he's being physical with safeties, pushing them off and getting open in the pass game. So, Kyle is obviously a problem to guard as well. But I would say the 85 guy, he's kind of almost like a Kittle type of player, the way he plays the game. So excited for that matchup for sure.
Ulbrich said yesterday that Jacoby Brissett is a guy he absolutely hates playing. He's used that kind of phrasing about other players too, where it's like Rico Dowdle's someone who gives him nightmares, or other players in terms like that. Does he do that with y'all also, where, I don't want to say it's dramatic, but he's like, I hate him, gives me nightmares, keeps me up at night. I just was curious how he talks about opponents to y'all.
Yeah, I think he's being serious about hate playing against guys, because he really doesn't sleep at times. He's just starting to, he starts to come up with all these, different scenarios in his head. Some of them might not even happen, but that's what great defenses, defensive coordinators do. They try to figure out, every single problem, even though some of them might not even come up. But he wants us to, be prepared as players to make sure that we're not just sleeping on, Jacoby Brissett has been on 10-plus different teams. He's a backup quarterback, but you can't sleep on him, because the way he processes and the way he's playing the game is like a starting quarterback. And if you're not on your stuff, then he can hurt you for sure. So just got to be precise in how we pressure him, because he can extend plays as well. I think any coordinator hates playing against a guy who can play on time and create more time with his feet in the pocket. And then, he's not a big scrambler, where he's getting a lot of yards rushing, but he keeps his eyes down the field and, makes defenses pay when he extends plays. So, yeah.
How much does that help the defense just always stay on your toes when he does treat every single person like a massive threat, even if they aren't the biggest names making headlines?
Yeah, there's times where he'll let us know, like, I don't think this guy's that good, or you know what I'm saying, like, or he'll tell us straight up, like, this guy's the real deal. And it's been great to be able to, see his philosophy every single week. His process never changes. He still has those, whoever the guys that he wants to talk about, he pulls them up and shows some of their clips and see what they're doing good. So, yeah, that's what Brick does. I think that's the player in him that he kind of gets involved in, letting us know who we're playing against. I think that's very important for sure.
Jesse, how have you seen Xavier Watts, get better as the season has gone on?
Yeah, the experience is something that, that's your biggest teacher in this game. I could tell X everything I've learned over my 8 years playing, but he's got to be able to see it, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's one thing he's done well is once he sees it, he's like, all right, that's what it's like. I need to do this, or make an adjustment in the coverage where, he's a smart player. His high IQ, it doesn't take a lot of time for him to, figure it out. But like I said, some things the playbook can't really teach you. You just got to have experience and see it for yourself. And once you have that, I think you see it with X. It's like having that photographic memory of all right, if this is like a scar of mine, I'm always, remember what happened in that play. Whether he's, a play that he got beat on or a play that he's playing well. I feel like that's always, I think as a safety, you always kind of think of, it's almost like a quarterback. I see different coverage, a different pressure. Once I see that pressure, it's not going to surprise me anymore. So I'm very impressed with X for sure.
When you were a young player, do you remember when things started to click for you? My situation was a little bit different. When I first came in the league, it was like box safety, free safety, and you line up in it. And but nowadays it's a little bit different. With guys, defenses are getting really good at playing too high and playing everything out of too high. So I would say it really started to click maybe like year 2, year 3, where I really was confident in owning the splits and owning these different formations. Like, all right, I'm getting this. And like I said, it takes time for you to really believe it and be like, all right, there's not a lot of different routes that I can get out of certain formations. So yeah, I would say year 2 to 3 for sure. Are you seeing those things happen in real time for him, and are you excited about what kind of player he could turn into in the next few years? Yeah, some of the stuff that he does naturally, I'm just like, how do you already know that? So that's the part I'm kind of impressed with him for sure. And then his ability to just continue to learn, I think, is another part of it. It was, like I said, it takes time, and sometimes you mess it up. Sometimes it doesn't get shown, but then you just really try to fix it and make sure that you get that off your tape and carry it along with your career, because I always say it coverages aren't really changing anymore. You're going to play cover 3, you're going to play cover 4. You just got to know how to move within each coverage and make certain adjustments. Do you remember one of those moments where you said, wait, how do you know that already? Do you remember something like that you did? He was with Al Golden before, who's, DC with the Bengals now, and just some of his, the terminology that they would use. Some of the stuff that we even do was new for me coming here, and X kind of already knew it. So, stuff like that, I can't put something right on it, that can't think of it right now, but there's multiple times where I'm pretty impressed with X for sure.
Did you expect when you entered the league to catch on to things year 1?
Yeah, you better. If not, you'll get left behind. But yeah, certain principles of just your coverage. But when you can start, going a little bit deeper into the coverage and really understanding, I think that's where you see the great ones. I would say somebody playing middle of the field compared to Ed Reed playing middle of the field,
the process isn't just playing middle of the field. You figure out what the small details within that can help you elevate your play, and that's all experience.
If you'll forgive me for looking ahead a little bit, have you enjoyed seeing Nate Landman flourish?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was here obviously with when I first got here, and to see him, he was getting beat up a lot the couple years that I was with him, and we would always just talk to each other about hunting the ball. A tackle doesn't really matter. Like, go get the ball, and we would always challenge each other. You create so many relationships in this game, and Nate Landman is definitely one of those guys that I would come to work, and I'm happy to be at work with Nate Landman, and to see him go and earn himself a extension that that could possibly change him and his family's life is pretty damn cool. And I still reach out to him every highlight that we've seen this year. I'm like, bro, you're a dog. Like, keep doing this stuff. I love what you're doing. Even though he's on another team, it still inspires not just me but guys in this locker room that he's had relationships with of go get the ball. That's what we always talked about, and Nate has done it at a high level.
He has credited you this year, I think, with helping him develop that skill. That was kind of something that y'all honed together.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about it. That wasn't part of my game, 3 or 4 years ago either. Von Bell, Jermaine Pratt, those guys kind of helped me start thinking that way. And I think once you have that mindset, and it's contagious. It's not just for you. It's for everybody along the whole defense. When I'm out there practicing, I'm forcing myself to get those punches in, and then everyone looks around like, why am I not punching the ball? Like, why not create that habit, when you get the ball, it happens. It's good for everybody. It's good for your family. It's good for the DC. It's good for our team. So it's good, for sure.
Couple more.
Chris, you guys are at 48 sacks for the season. The franchise record is 55. Is that something that you guys are aware of or trying to see if you can get? Or?
No, at least DBs, we don't know that. I'm sure the D-line in their room, they probably know about the record. That's my first time hearing that, but I'll make sure I tell the guys that for sure. We're 7 off. But yeah, it's been really cool to see us embrace that mentality that Brick has brought here, and to watch it go from that in 1 year, it's pretty cool.
Have you followed this conversation this week? We asked Kirk about it yesterday, how quarterbacks are changing the way that they look at defenses. They're going more pure progression now than coverage reads because defenses have just made the coverages too hard to diagnose. Do y'all take some pride in that? Do you kind of feel like, as defensively, we're winning now because they can't do that anymore? We have won that battle for now.
Yeah.
It's always similar.
Yeah, it's always evolving, I think. I just said, like, when I first got in the league, it was either you're a box safety or you're a free safety. And now it's like you got to be able to play both. And I think that's kind of what Kirk's talking about, is everybody's playing, cover 3 out of 2 high shell. And you can't just be like, all right, I'm going to catch the ball and I'm going to look up and I'm going to see where these safeties are and, make my progression off of what a coverage is. I think it's really about, like you just said, the true progression. Like, this is 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. And then sometimes the great quarterbacks, they don't even go through their whole process anymore because they understand that the one in the progression isn't really the one. So they'll go to 4 or 5. So, yeah, it's definitely, a thing that's continued to evolve. I feel like as you go, every DC I've been a part of, they take pride in that. And like, all right, we're going to hold a disguise and we're going to play something else. And then there's other certain times where you just got to get down and you get out of your disguise and get down in coverage, and who cares if they know it? You just got to go beat us. So there's times for it. There's times for when you want to show pressure, and then you pop out and play man to man. You play cover 3, cover 2. All of that, it never matters if all of it doesn't look the same though. So that's the challenge, I think.
I started off just going back last week. I know it feels like a while ago. Good team win by the guys on all 3 phases. You talk about special teams. I thought the guys covered well on the kickoff cover phase. I thought punt, we ended up having 1 return versus Johnson for 0 yards. Almost came up with the muff punt, which would have been big. Bradley ended up having 2 punts or 3 punts inside the 20-yard line. I know one of them counts as a touchback, but Hodge did a good job forcing a holding call. I'll give props to Bradley too in our field goal unit by using cadence to our advantage to turn that first field goal opportunity into a 4-point swing, get them to jump off sides, and then the very next play, KP scores a touchdown. Offense did a great job with that. And then obviously to finish the game with the game-winning field goal by Zane and the field goal unit. So big credit to those guys, staying in the moment, staying poised. I know they tried to call timeout to freeze them, and those guys went out there and executed. And it was a good job by our offense getting the ball down there so we could have that opportunity to do that. But complimentary football, that was great to see that by our guys on Thursday. Look forward this week versus a good team on Arizona. You talk about special teams. Coach Rogers has done a great job for years there. Those guys are going to be ready to go. They have a lot of good core players on their units. You talk about number 36. He does a great job as a Crawford from Nevada, rookie. He's very dominant in the coverage phase, and he makes a lot of tackles on punts. So we're going to have our hands full being able to go against him and their units when it comes to what they do on special teams as a coverage unit. Then return-wise, I know they've played a bunch of different guys out there, but we'll be ready for whoever they put out there because I know even with the returner, they have a lot of good blockers out there, and they had a lot of big seams. So we've got a great challenge this week versus those guys, and I'll open up to any questions.
Never really thought, I guess, about a hard count on a field goal. Does Bradley's the one who calls the snap in that situation?
We have various different ways to do, like you think about punt or field goal.
Field goals.
Yeah, either one. That's an offensive play because we have possession of the ball.
Right.
So what do teams do on offense? They use cadence to their advantage, whether you want to go quick, whether you want to go on a different cadence, or you want to use a silent cadence. So like playing on the road, we have the guard on offense who waves at the center to get the ball snapped. There's many different ways that you could do things, and when you're going against particular, like various teams, you have cadence used to your advantage. Whether you want to, have them show their cards on a particular rush, on punt, rush, or field goal block, or if you want to get them on their heels and get them catch them off guard with a quick snap. There's different ways you could do it. So I look at that play as an offensive play because field goal is a direct attempt to put points on the board. Punt, you're protecting the ball until you punt it, then you transition to defense. So those are things that we use, and I give a credit to Bradley, Liam, and our guys on those units for using cadence to their advantage.
Is it a verbal call or is it a silent count?
There's many different ways. There's many different ways. It just depends on the team you're going against. So, but you can use all of them. Our guys, we have the ability to do anything just based on what we feel that week is needed for us to be out there and go out and be successful.
I know Thursday you didn't get chances to run the ball back on kickoff, but do you see ways you can get that better, get that going on more than you have?
Oh yeah, I mean every week we're always all phases. We talk about returns, always looking to get better. I mean, the last return we had was versus Seattle, and I think it was about for 47 yards. But those guys are always looking to get better. Even with the 47-yarder, there's still a lot of improvement on that play. What I did give credit to those guys when we talk about that play, the Seattle play, we're down by a lot, and those guys still played with great effort and intensity to create an explosive return. Just so happened last week we didn't get an opportunity. I thought Drummond and Tompkins did a great job of decision-making. There was one that they put like about a yard or two deep, and we did a good job just taking that touchback to get the ball 35-yard line. Those guys did a great job communicating. All you could do is like be prepared before that opportunity presents itself. And then whatever that next opportunity is, I know our guys are going to do, the 10 guys that are blocking, they're going to do a great job blocking, and whoever has the ball, they're going to secure it and get vertical with it.
More than half of Bradley's punts this year have landed within the 20. How can you tell when he's having a really good season? That's just one statistic to pull from.
Well, I mean, one, you can't control when we punt, Taryn, because you're guaranteed 0 punts each and every game. So if I didn't know that, but like looking at if you're going off of stats, it's just if he has the opportunity to go out there and put our offense and our defense in good field position, then that's a plus. So I don't get fixated on how many yards he punted it, or hey, what's the hang time compared to the distance, the location. They're all variables. So if we're punting the ball from the 50-yard line, you're probably not going to have a big punt. Your yards on that punt is not going to be big. So he may kick a 36-yard punt, but that ball's inside the 10. That's a win. I know it's a 36-yard punt, and it may hurt his gross and net but that's a win for us. And the big thing about Bradley, he just cares about winning the play and are setting our defense up for great field position and giving our opportunity for our gunners to go downfield to make plays like Mike Ford has done all season on those type of plays, being able to down punts, be able to put the ball inside the 10-yard line. There's a couple of punts that he would like to have back last week, but he's eager to get out there today and work on those little details so he can help our team win those plays. And that's all that matters. Did we win the play or did we not win the play?
How would you evaluate his season overall then?
I think he's having a good season for the roles that he's had. He's had various roles, whether he's been kicking off, whether he's doing onside kicks, whether he's punting, whether he's we have different PPs playing in the game, playing at the personal protector position on punt, different kickers, being able to help with the various kickers we had in the building. That time we had a left-footed kicker in the building, being able to help acclimate Zane coming in the building and seeing what Zane's doing. Like it's not a like when he won Special Teams Player of the Week, it's not an individual award. It's a team award, and Bradley was a part of that, and Liam was a part of that. So I think he's having a really good season, and I'm excited to see him operate this Sunday in Arizona.
You mentioned a couple of weeks ago that the fall line for catching a punt or not is the 8-yard line. That eight feels so arbitrary. I wonder how y'all come up with that number. I wonder, why is it the 8? Why is it not the 10? What goes into determining that?
Well, I mean, just from history, just from data, it used to be the 10-yard line.
Right.
Some teams use the 10-yard line. There are some teams that don't use the 8-yard line. Some teams use the 6. Some teams use the 7. You'll watch teams, they'll catch the ball at the 5-yard line. It just varies based on the team you're going against, based on data that you accumulate over the years. It's just something that, at the end of the day, whatever the line is, just being disciplined with that line and making the right decision when it comes to that. And part of that is just urgency to get underneath the ball to know where you're at. If you start to back up, Josh, you kind of lose sight to where you're at on the field. But if you're opening up and running, you can know, like, okay, I opened up and I went backwards. I'm going to let that ball go. All right, I opened up. Oh, the ball's short. I'm going to run up to go catch it. Now you got to make the next decision. Is it a fair catch or is it not a fair catch? If I am fair catching, do I got to let the guys know around me that I am fair catching? So there's a lot of different things, and that position is not easy. But to answer your question, it varies. And sometimes it varies based on the game you're playing with. If it's an outdoor game, where is the ball being punted at in correlation to where the returner is at? And what's his average hang time? What's his average gross punting? How many yards does he punt it? So if he's punting the ball, let's say a guy averages 50 yards a punt and he's punting the ball, the yard line is the 50-yard line. Yeah, I'm going to be probably at the 8. If he's on the minus 35, that may change. If he outpunts his coverage, do I have time to open up, run back to catch the ball? And if I do catch the ball, do I have yards in front of me to get vertical to steal a first down to help our offense with better field position?
It seems like 2 punters are better at like kind of checking the ball up than maybe they used to be. So like you can't just assume if it lands inside the 5 that it's going to go in the end zone. Often it seems like it bounces straight up or backwards. I don't know what that technique is. It seems like it's improved over time with that.
I mean, the punters have improved, but that technique has been going on for a while, how they drop the football. Back in the day, they used to just spiral punt the football, which they would just hold the ball here, and then they would just get underneath it and they'll spiral punt it. Now you could nose drop it so it could check back to you, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to check back to you. I think when it comes to that play, if the ball hits inside the 5 or inside the 8-yard line and the ball bounces in the end zone, which happened to Bradley in the game, it happened versus Tampa, hit at like the 5-yard line and just shot it, went into the end zone. That happens. Or if it bounces back. Bradley in 2021, he beat us in Tampa because he hit the ball inside the 3-yard line and checked to the 5. So I think the technique is the technique. I think guys are just getting better, getting more hang time on the punt, which helps it check back into the field of play. But you still don't want to catch those. Like, if they hit a good punt and it lands at the 7-yard line, then it rolls to the 2-yard line, hats off to them. Like, that's a good punt. Our returner made a good decision. But if you're going back to go try to catch those balls, or you're working back towards the end zone and now you catch it and you try to return it and you only get like 5 yards, like you never know if it went to the end zone or not. That's the cool thing about football. The ball's shaped in a different, it's not like a true ball when it comes to that. So like you can't control how the ball bounces, and you just got to make sure you make the right decisions as a returner.
I was watching Brandon Dorrell's his all-22, and I was watching him on the field goal block, and I couldn't help but notice he gives a lot of effort. Like he was getting in between gaps, he and Contagious overpowered. Like we're trying to get a block. Seems like he's not quite fulfill what he's trying to do, but it seems like he's giving you a lot each of those snaps.
I mean, when you talk about fulfilling what he's trying to do, he's playing with effort
Right.
and intensity, and that's the intent that we're looking for. Getting knocked back, playing with low pad level, running your feet through contact, and being disruptive. So I think he is working it. That's the intent of the play. And then the results of it, you're just trying to affect the kick, get your hands up. Sometimes you get so much knocked back, it's hard to get your hands up. But that's what he's trying to do, be disruptive to where he could affect the kick. And he's getting close, and I love that he's playing. Him and Streeter, and along with other guys, are playing with great effort. And we believe great plays are made from great effort.